sharing my screen with you. And if you wish to ask a question, then do so. But otherwise, we're going to be looking at entries this week and making the most of your entries. And if you're watching this video on YouTube afterwards, you can join these lessons if you send an email to that address on the screen there. So let's have a look at a few examples of this. And let's start with this one here, where you're south, you open a weak 2 spades, west doubles, north passes, east bids 3 hearts, comes, you pass, and this time north bids 3 spades, and that's passed out. So here you are in a 3 spade contract, and the opponents lead the ace of hearts. And you need to obviously think about your plan on this hand. Looks like we're going to lose at least 1 spade, 2 hearts probably, at least 1 diamond, and maybe a club. So let's see how it goes. They start off with the ace and play another heart, which I take with the king, and they play a 3rd heart, and we're going to rough this. We're probably okay to rough this low because the bidding suggests that they have some kind of heart fit between them. So we rough low, and that wins the trick. So we've gained the lead now after the first 3 tricks. And I'd like you to think about what you're going to play now. And in fact, that's the first poll of the evening. What card do you think you should lead from the south hand now? You've just gained the lead by roughing the 3rd round of hearts. And the question is, which card would you like to lead from the south hand? So have a little think about it. And here comes the poll. And the question is, what are you going to lead? Sorry, it's a bit obscure. Okay, there we go. What are you going to lead from the south hand? Have a look at the results. And the most popular response is a low club, 74%, with some people going for the king of spades or the 2 of diamonds. Well, yes, I agree with most of you. If you look, you have honours in clubs here, and you've got honours in spades in your hand. And generally speaking, there's a finessing situation in the clubs. And in the spades, you really want to be leading towards your honours rather than playing your top honours. You'll have a better chance. You're always going to lose 1 spade trick, but you'll have a better chance if you don't lead the spades from your hand. So I'm going to at some point try the club finesse anyway, and even if it fails, it may set up a club. So yes, I agree that you should lead a club here, and unless the king appears, you win that trick you play the jack, and let's suppose that wins the trick. So here you are, the lead is now in dummy, and I've got the second poll for you. What are you going to lead from dummy? Have a look at the results. So the most popular response here, 55%, is a 3 of spades, followed by a diamond and the ace of clubs. And again, I agree that with the majority here, that you should lead a spade. You've got to draw trumps on this hand at some point, and trumps are much better played if you lead a low spade towards your king and queen. It's not guaranteed to ensure that you won't lose more than 1 trick, but it's a good general practice just to lead low towards your honours. And I don't particularly want to lead a diamond here. Those of you who led a diamond either at the earlier point or at this point, I don't think that's particularly valuable. You're probably only going to make one diamond trick if the defense defend correctly. But you probably have a greater chance of making a second diamond if they lead a diamond at some point. So I'm focusing on drawing trumps and playing the clubs. So yes, I'm going to lead a spade back here. And let's suppose I play the queen and that holds the trick. Well, that was good news. What I want to do is really get to dummy so that I can lead another spade. And one way I have a good expectation of getting there is by repeating the finesse, playing the queen here and now leading a spade. And if I just bring up the four hands at this point, you'll see that by playing this way, so if he didn't play the ace, I would have played the king. And if they did play the ace, of course, I play low. And now I'm almost certainly just going to lose one trick in spades. Let's suppose he plays a diamond here because they probably may decide not to play a club. Here again with the king and queen, I'm probably best not to play the queen here and just play a low card. Now, what would work out well here for me is if West played the ace of diamonds, that would set up two tricks for me, the queen and the king. But suppose they don't. It's tricky, but they can see that playing the ace would promote the king. So let's suppose they play the 10 and I win the king. What do I want to do now? Well, there's still a trump out. So perhaps I should cash the ace of clubs, discarding a diamond. And I'm just trying to get back to my hand so that I can draw the last trump here. That the queen loses to the ace. And if they play another diamond, I can finally ruff that, draw the last trump, and take 9 tricks on that one. So that was a relatively simple one involving leading low towards your honors, both in clubs and in spades. And especially when you have, a precarious holding like you've got in spades of king, queen, 9, 8, it's not a solid suit. If it was king, queen, jack 10, 9, then it wouldn't matter. Then you could lead from either hand. But with a weak holding like this, you give yourself a better chance of avoiding more than one loser by leading towards your honors. Some people on this hand will just look at how it might have been played a different way. If they start off with the hearts as before, if I click here on the GIB button, the computer is actually telling me that the only way to make this contract is now to lead a club. If I lead a diamond, I can be defeated by 1 trick, and if I lead a spade, I can be defeated by 2 tricks. So, if you just sort of play the king, well, East might win this, he might not, hoping you carry on. And if you do carry on with the queen, and now he'll take his ace, and now it's promoted his 10. So now you lose a second trick there. Suppose you switch to a diamond here, and it gets played as before. Well, now when the diamonds are played, the opponents can take another trick there, and that will be it finally. You'll be able to do the club finesse, which works as before, but you'll be held to 7 tricks there, possibly going down 2 tricks, depending on how the opponents defend. So just a simple matter of remembering to lead towards your honors is the key on that one. Let's try this one here, where you...
Tony, can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, hello, Robert.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Good. On the previous hand, rather than play the second spade, is there any downside in playing the ace of clubs before you play the second spade?
I'm not sure. You're by playing the second club, you're cutting yourself off from entries to the north hand. So if we go to this point here, so you play 1 spade, right? And that wins a trick. Then I suggested playing the queen of clubs and uh, winning with the queen of clubs. And what would happen if you played uh, another club here? Is what you're suggesting, isn't it? I suppose there's a. I've just clicked on. Yeah. So it says on this. I've just clicked on the GIB button. It says yeah that will work as well. So yes, on this layout you'd be able to do that. I suppose there's a slight chance it might get roughed. Um, so you might be so. I think that would work on this certainly on this layout. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at this one where you open a heart. There's a one spade response, and you've got, well, it's only 14 points, but it's a very nice six card suit. And I think there's a lot to be said for jumping to three hearts. You could bid your second suit as well, but three hearts emphasizes that you've got a good six card suit. Normally that would be more like 16 points, but with such a good suit, maybe it's and a singleton there, maybe you should bid three and your partner goes to four. And the opponents lead the ace of spades, and down comes dummy, and we're going to stop to make a plan here. And you can look at your losers on here. You can also consider your winners as well. That's quite useful on this hand. If I look at my winners, I've got six hearts and three clubs. So that's nine top tricks. And to make an extra trick, probably the best chance is to get a diamond trick. I've got the Queen Jack. And if I can make a trick with one of those, that'll be my 10th trick. So let's see how it goes. Let's suppose they start with the ace of spades and they play the king of spades, which we ruff. And I think on this hand, I'm going to start by drawing trumps here. So I'm going to just to recap, I had six trumps to start with, two in dummy, so eight altogether. So I'm hoping they'll divide 3-2. So let's see how it goes as we cash the hearts. Yes, everyone has followed. So let's draw that last trump. Okay, so that's all the trumps gone. And let's suppose you now play a club. You cross over to dummy, win that first trick with the first club with the ace, the king or the queen. And I'd like you to think about what you should play now. And in fact, that's the subject of the third poll this evening. You've drawn trumps, you've just won the queen of clubs. And which card do you think you should lead now? Here comes the poll, and hopefully you'll find one of the answers is one you would like to lead. Going to lead a spade, a diamond, or a club. Have a look at your responses. And most of you have gone for a diamond, 79%, with a smaller number going for a club and for a spade. And let's have a little think about it. In fact, I'm going to click on the GIB button, and it's actually telling me that although I can make this contract, but not if I lead a club. It's kind of tempting to cash your top three clubs here. You could discard a diamond there. But if you do, you will have cut yourself off from dummy. You won't be able to get to dummy, and you won't be able to lead diamonds again from dummy. You'll probably need to lead diamonds from dummy twice here in order to make a diamond trick. So you must keep your clubs. By the way, I don't think there's much merit in leading a spade here because you're roughing in the hand with the long trumps and you're not really gaining anything. The extra trick's got to come from diamonds here. And so you should lead a diamond here, play the queen or the jack. If that loses, let's suppose they play a spade here, and you're able to ruff that. You can now get back to dummy because you've got a club left, and you can play the king, play the ace. You can discard a diamond, and now you're going to lead another diamond. And if I bring up the four hands, you'll see that as long as you're not unlucky in the diamond. So here, West had the started with the ace, and he started with the king. Um, as long as they're not both ace king of not both in the west hand, you will lead a diamond, and unless he plays the king, you'll cross your fingers and play the queen, and that will be your 10th trick now. After this, you can just play the last trump, play a diamond in the hope they've kept the wrong thing, but you'll make your 10 tricks there. A lot of people on a hand like this, if we play it as it was before, so you start by drawing trumps, they have a desire to cash those three clubs. But if you think about it, if you do that, you're cutting yourself off from dummy, and now you can only lead diamonds from dummy once. So if you play a diamond here, the first one will lose, but if they play another spade, you can ruff, but now you can't get to dummy to lead diamonds again. And all you can do is maybe lead your diamonds, hope that a diamond becomes established. But if they defend correctly, they will take the last two diamond tricks, and you'll only make the 9 tricks. So that was a hand involving thinking ahead and realizing that to make the diamonds, give yourself the best chance to make 2 diamonds, you should plan to lead diamonds twice from dummy towards your honors. Let's try another one. And this time North opens 1 heart, and you've got 7 points here, not strong enough to bid 2 clubs. So you bid 1 no trump, that shows 6 to 9 points, and that ends the auction. And the opponents lead the queen of spades. So I'd like you to start by thinking about counting your top tricks, and the whole for this hand is going to be, what are you going to play at trick 1? Are you going to play the king of spades, win the trick with the king of spades? Are you going to win the trick with the ace of spades? Or are you going to play low from both hands? Here comes that pole. And we've got very divided responses, almost a third going for every response there. And let's think about it. Start by counting our top tricks here in 1 no trump. We've got 2 spades, 1 heart, 1 diamond, and 1 top trick in clubs. So we start off with 5 top tricks. And where can we make more? Well, clubs is obviously the best chance. And we have a very good chance to make another 2 clubs there on top of the 5 top tricks. Now, you might be thinking about winning this with the ace of spades so that you can finesse. But the finesse is not really going to help you much. Even if West has the king of clubs, if you lead, if you win this one with the ace of spades and then play the queen of clubs, even if West has the king, he shouldn't play it because he can see that you'll be obliged to win the second trick with your ace. So even if the layout is something like this, you can see there's really not much point trying the club finesse. What you need to do is keep your ace of spades as an entry so that you can play the clubs after you've forced out the king of clubs. So you've got to ignore the finesse here, and you've got to preserve your ace of spades. So you could, I think, duck the first trick, although there's a danger the opponents might shift to a suit where you're perhaps even weaker, like diamonds. But let's suppose they, if you decide to win this first trick, you should win it definitely with the king. And now give up on that finesse. Just play the ace of clubs and another club. And once you've forced out the king of clubs, whatever they play now, you can regain the lead and take two club tricks. After that, you're probably just going to make seven tricks now, unless the opponents have discarded something or give you a freebie somehow. But if they defend correctly, you'll struggle to make any more tricks, but you'll make your seven tricks there. So don't be tempted there to win the ace of spades and try the finesse, because if you lead, say, the queen, West, seeing dummy, should realize there's no point playing their king. Second hand normally covers an honor with an honor, but only if you can see that it could promote a trick. And here you can see it won't. You'll make a trick with your king at some point. Let's have a look at this one here. And here we've got a slightly interesting hand. South has got a difficult opening bids. They've got 20 points. The hand isn't really that balanced with that singles and ace. So let's suppose you open one diamond. I don't think the hand is worth a two club opener, for example. West overcalls a heart and North doubles. Now, that double should be a negative double, showing the unbid suits. And in particular, it should be showing a four-card spade suit. So it also shows some points, should be showing at least 6 points. So maybe now after that double, you just bid three no trump here. You've got, your partner should have a spade stopper in addition to your ace, and you've got a good heart stopper. So they lead a heart, and we can stop to make a plan here. So let's look at it. Clubs, it's hard to tell how many tricks we can make there. We don't have any top tricks. Maybe we'll make one club trick at some point. Diamonds, we should be able to make a number of tricks, at least four tricks, because we've got the ace, king, jack, 10, missing the queen. So even if we lose to the queen, we've probably got four tricks there. And we've got two top tricks in hearts, that's six tricks. And in spades, we would really like to make four spade tricks. The problem is we have that blockage, and it's going to be hard to get to dummy. So let's think about it. Let's win that first trick, and let's immediately get rid of that ace of spades, because if we ever do get to dummy, we want to be in a position to cash those spades. And there's no real obvious way to get to dummy here. There's no immediate entry. You could try leading a club to the queen, but that will probably lose to the ace or king. But there is one thing you can try here, which is actually to lead the jack of diamonds. And what you're hoping is that whoever has the queen of diamonds will win the trick, and that will promote your 10 to being an entry. So if East wins that one with the queen, now you're in good shape. You can now win the king of hearts, and that 10 of diamonds is an entry. So you play the 10, and now you're in dummy. Now you can cash your spades and then switch back to diamonds, and you can make actually all those diamonds. So played that way, you'll make 10 tricks. The opponents will probably make these last two, but you'll make three no trump plus one. Interestingly, the best defense on this hand is not easy to find, but let's play it as it was, playing the ace of spades and playing the jack of diamonds. The best defense by East is actually not to take the queen. That's very hard to find that, but you might think, why is Declarer playing this way? And the computer actually says that if you play a low diamond here, then Declarer can be defeated. So that's an interesting one. And finally, let's have a look at this one. This was the one that I sent out at the weekend. and you open one heart. Your partner bids a spade. You've got quite a minimum hand, but six clubs. Again, I think I could have bid two. Sorry, I could bid two clubs or two hearts, but in view of the six card suit, I think I'll rebid the hearts. My partner makes an invitational bid of three hearts, and I might have accepted that invitation, even though I'm quite weak in terms of points. I think I'm only 11 points, but I do have a singleton, so I might accept it. Anyway, I've decided to pass here, and the opponents lead the Queen of Diamonds. And I'd like you to try and make a plan on this hand. Um, you can actually make a number of over tricks here, um, but you need to find the right way to play it. So I'd like you to look at the two hands together. I would advise you to look at the losers from the point of view of the south hand, the hand with a long trump suit, but taking into account all the strength in dummy. Work out how many potential losers you have in the south hand, and work out what you're going to do with them. And the final poll on this hand is, what are you going to play at trick one? Are you going to win this with the ace of diamonds in dummy? Are you going to win it with the king of diamonds in your hand? Or are you going to play low from each hand? So here comes the last poll. And what are you going to play at trick one? Look at the responses. And the majority here have gone for the king of diamonds, followed by the ace of diamonds, and 14% said play low from each hand. So let's switch back and see if we can work this out. And I think it's crucial here to try and focus on how many potential losers you have here. So if we look at it from the point of view of the south hand, I hope you agree that you have one spade loser, you have one heart loser, the ace, you have no diamond losers because you've got ace and king. And the only other losers you have are in clubs, where you have three potential losers. How are we going to avoid those club losers? Well, I think we want to try to rough them in dummy. And if we can rough all three clubs in dummy, we can avoid all those losers and just lose the one spade and the one heart. Now, for this strategy to work, you have to realize that you mustn't touch trumps. You mustn't touch trumps because we want to keep our hearts in dummy to rough the clubs with. And you also have to realize that we need to preserve our entries into the south hand so that we can rough the clubs. So the winning line, I'll just click on the GIB button to make the most tricks here, is actually to win the first trick with the ace of diamonds. I've just clicked on the GIB button, and it says that if I play the ace, I can make two over tricks. If I play low, either planning to duck from both hands or planning to win the king, I can only make one over trick. And that's because you need as many entries as you can to the south hand. We're used to that diamond combination of doing something like playing the king, playing the ace, and then roughing. But playing it this way, we actually get an extra entry to the south hand. So that's what we do. We preserve the king of diamonds. We win the first trick with the ace. We don't touch trumps, of course. We play our singleton club and we rough the first club. And because I said we're planning to rough three times, we're going to rough the first two low. If we can get away with that, we now want to come back to our hand. Obviously, we can't do that in any other way except with the king of diamonds. And now we can rough another club, which we will rough with a four of hearts. We want to get back to our hand, and we can do that with a diamond. So we play a diamond, we rough that one, and now we can rough our last club with the queen. And now all we're going to lose is a spade. We can lead a spade. Whatever happens, they win that. If they carry on in spades, we'll ruff that. And now all we need to do is keep playing trumps, drawing the opponent's trumps. And once all the trumps are gone, we'll actually claim 11 tricks there. So this one is, again, one where you need to think carefully about your entries and preserve your entries to the south hand. Incidentally, if I click on here at the GIB button at the opening lead, it will tell me that the best opening lead is a trump, the 7 of hearts here, because now the opponents will be able to win the ace, draw another trump, and you'll only be able to ruff once in dummy. Okay, anyone have any questions on that? So that's the end of the talk this evening. We've got the game coming up at 7:30, and if you need a partner, do just join the game and call the director, and I'll come over and find a partner for you. In the meantime, hope you have a good evening. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you for whom that means anything, and I'll see some of you online in a couple of minutes, I hope. Bye, everyone.
Bye.